friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a plant chores vlog thing. I have so many plant chores that I need to do. I just feel like they keep piling up. I feel like I'm getting on top of it and then I have to go somewhere and plant chores just pile up again and again. So I thought I would start a video with all of you. Also, this video was picked out by my patrons, I should say. They chose this one, so thanks patrons for picking out this video and letting me share all the plant chores with all of you. But yeah, I just feel like I have a lot to do, and I think it might be a couple days worth of plant chores, maybe not quite a week, but a few days at the very least to get some stuff done. I have a lot to prepare for as well because I'm going to Scotland this weekend for another plant swap Scotland. Like, what the heck? Like, I cannot believe our first out of London swap is happening. That's surreal, and I'm so excited. So I've got to prep for that, as well as make sure my things are doing okay in my home. By things, I mean plants, obviously. Also, I'm back to the half and half. Just the front though, because I'm far too lazy to do like the entirety of my head. But eventually it will be blonde. I'm just a bit purple right now because it didn't lighten as much as I would have wanted it to be for the blonde. So instead of bleaching it like 1,000 times in a day and ruining my hair like I have done previously, I am just going to let it be purple for a bit, fade out, and then bleach it again in like a month or like 6 weeks or something. So excited for that. I have missed my sort of like funky hair. I mean, being all natural is fun and all, but it just didn't feel like me. So yeah, I'm back to some fun and funky, and purple is fun. But yeah, let us get into some plant chores. Things that I definitely need to do today. I've got to pack up my pink princess to be sent out, to be mailed. I have to water my Millsbell cabinet, because that's the only thing I haven't watered yet. Which you'd think it'd be one I did first because I like really care about the things in there, but most things actually do seem fine, so like it's fine. And then spray and water some moss poles. I've also got to check on some imports this week and do some repotting and just like general plant care that I've not been keeping up with as much as I should have been. So yeah, before I get into the actual plant chores of this video, I just want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. I don't know what to do first. I feel like the list is just so long. Maybe I'll water this because I'm here. Like, you know when you just like leave something for too long? Like, it's not been too long at this point. A lot of my things are still growing fine. Like, it's not a problem. But it's just, it feels like a mission to do. I feel like I've said that in so many of my plant chores videos and repot videos and stuff lately. Everything just feels like a mission, and it still does, and I think it might still do for a while. But it feels like a mission to like get the momentum again, because I haven't had momentum for so long. So let us get the momentum. I'm gonna water. It's gonna be fun. Right, let's go. I should also say that this video is probably gonna be a long one because I've got a lot to do. So grab a cup of tea, some snacks, or grab some plant chores, put me on while you're watering, and come hang out with me, because that's the kind of vibe I'm feeling for this video. It's like I've forgotten how to water my plants. That was probably one of the messiest watering jobs I've ever done. I spilled so much water in my cabinet, and I don't know if it's just because I'm feeling like about it or what. I just like it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, now everything in there is watered, which does feel good. And I think since I'm on a watering roll, I am going to water my hanging plants, because those are the other ones that I haven't done, because they take slightly more effort, because I need to bring them into the shower to drain, because they don't have cash pots. So let us go grab those and we can water them. So this is kind of my normal setup with these here. Sorry, there's like freaking tons of plants in here. These, oh my goodness, look how big this escalato is. These were like super generous donations to another plant swap in general. So some of these plants might be raffle prizes, some of these plants might be in goodie bags in future swaps. All I know is that it's freaking exciting and I have so freaking many. So yeah, that's cool. That's why the bathroom is like kind of chaotic right now, but that's besides the point. This is kind of how I set it up, and I watered them over the tub, typically with the shower head. And I don't think I'm gonna fertilize these just because I'm feeling too lazy to mix up the fertilizer again. So this will have to do. I'm just gonna leave these to drip dry for a while so they don't just drip water all over my house, because if I pick them up, they'll still drip. So gonna leave them for a minute, and they'll be fine in here without light for a day. I think I might long-term move my polyneura, because you can see it's like getting super sun bleached. Not sun stressed, sun bleached. Like, this is the side facing the window, this is the side not, and I feel like that side looks healthier. So I don't know, I don't think it's in the right spot long term, so it might end up moving sometime soon. I'm just not quite sure where, because I do like it as a hanging plant. It can't really be a shelf plant, if that makes sense. So not exactly sure where I'll put it, but I think I need to move it long term. Another side note, look how freaking cute. There's new growth growing in on my fern leaf here, and here, and here, and here. There's just so much new growth coming in, and it makes me so excited because it obviously means that it's happy, and I love this one so much. Alright, so I am just going to be packing up my pink princess now. This is the end of this plant for me. It will no longer be mine after this. But I need to pack it up to ship off because someone else wants it. So why not let someone else have the joy, hopefully, of it, because I'm just like so not feeling it anymore. So it's currently in semi-hydro. Sorry if you can hear a siren. It's currently in semi-hydro, and I'm not going to ship it in that because that is far too heavy. So I'm going to unpot it and put it in sphagnum moss because I think that is the better option. And And I can use this pot for something else. I mean, it has really good roots, but I've always known that because I've had it for quite a while. I say quite a while, like a year and a half, but that is a while in my brain. For the most part, the roots feel fine. I'll take off any that are feeling rotty. Which I wouldn't be surprised if there's some, because I haven't checked these roots since I put it in semi-hydro, so it's perfectly normal to have some that are a bit rotty. Okay, so we've got that. And I've got this box, which I think will be big enough. I'm not sure. It's gonna have to be what it is, really. I've got some like random packing materials. I've got packing peanuts. I've got a bit of floof. This one has air at the bottom anyway, which I think would be perfect. So I guess I will wrap this up. In some sphagnum. This is just the sphagnum that I got from the Plant Point. And it's perfectly fine, it's just not my favorite of sphagnum. I still prefer soil ninja, obviously. So I don't mind using it to like send stuff away as much. So this is gonna be a little bit tight, but I can make sure that it's nice and like protected with lots and lots of sphagnum. I might need more cling film than I put out. I'll definitely wrap it a second time, but that is pretty freaking good for the first wrap. So push that over. We lay this on top. There we go. That's nice and safe. The roots are nice and protected. This moss is quite moist, so that is absolutely fine. Oh, and she also wanted some peperomia frost cuttings, so let me grab some of them. Does this fit in this box? Yeah, just about. It's the only box I have, so it's gonna have to be that. Cut off a couple of like not huge leaves, but big leaves for my plant because it's still quite small. And I'm going to be putting them into this little container with some sphagnum moss. So I shouldn't have closed that other one up. Just so they stay moist and protected. Like, I'm not tucking them in properly or anything, but this should be there in like 2 days. So it should be fine. Just like that. I think that should be okay. And then, beep boop. Oh, maybe I'll put some fluff on top. That's a good idea, Emma. You're smart. That's what the fluff is for. Just packing that out. So now they won't jiggle around. They're like in there properly, which is great. Okay, probably wrap this in some paper. It's just a bit awkward, you know? Also, you can tell that none of the stuff I have here is like first time use. I like to like save my packing supplies for stuff like this because it allows me to actually pack plants. Oh, that's a bit tight. That's not a fit like that. Okay, so what about if we go that way? Like, it's obviously not perfect. I'm not a plant store. And I'm giving it to this person for essentially just postage. So, like, of course I want it to arrive nicely, but if it's not perfect, I think that's okay. There we go. That's not super janky at all, but it does fit in the box, mostly. Well, so I might put some, I'm gonna crumble this paper up. Put it there. And then we can pack this like that. I might just tape this down. I typically tape plants down in the box because even if it's full of packing tape or packing peanuts or whatever, it can still sometimes move around, so just to be extra careful, I do this. Because now, like, that can't go anywhere. Obviously be careful testing that out because you don't want to just like dump your plant out. So really do it only when you're feeling careful, but I like to just double check at the end of mine. And then I'm gonna tape this in as well to the side. That's a bit sketchier just because it's a bit of an awkward shape, but it should be fine. And then I'm gonna do the rest with packing peanuts. Again, I've not bought these. These are just ones from like previous packages. And I don't know if they're the recyclable ones or not, but reusing is better than recycling anyways. So I'm gonna fill essentially this up as much as I can. Probably end up using all of these. That's perfect, and then I'm gonna write a quick note. Boop. And then we can close her up. Oh, hear that? That's the sound of nothing moving, and I love it. That's what you want to be hearing when you're doing this kind of thing. There we go. And I tend to write caution live plants on here as well, but this box is black, so I don't know if anyone will actually read it or care. Or like fragile live plants. Oh yeah, you can definitely read that. Okay, well, it's just gonna have to be what it is. It'll be fine. I can like print out the paper and write it on the paper of the label. So I'm going to do that now. Obviously, y'all don't need to see that because it's none of your business who I'm sending it to. And I don't want to share their address on the internet. So I'll do that, and then we can mosey on over to the post office. So I have just written on here, live plants, keep this way up, and fragile. You don't need to do this, but maybe it'll make them treat it slightly more carefully. I do it just in case. And I put my sticker on here because I'm reusing this box, so whatever it said before, now it says this is good growing, so that's fun. But let's go to the post office. Okay, good stuff. I have the top box, which is the plants, and this bottom box, which is like freaking 6 kilograms or something silly. But this bottom box is going up to Scotland for the plant swap because we have stuff to send up there because I don't want to take it all on the train. So let's go to the post office. So I just got back from the post office and I figured I would go to Nunhead Gardener, seeing it was right next door, and I bought plants. But they are both little succulents. So this one is a cotyledon undulata, and that was £4, but I just thought it was so pretty and like ruffly and looked like coral. And then this one is a Senecio stapeliiformis, if that's how you pronounce that. But I really like this one as well. I've seen this one a few times lately. I just think they look so freaking cute with the little white stripes in them. So I am super excited about those. I wasn't planning on buying anything, I say, as I like literally actively went to a plant shop. But I feel like since I've been doing, hello Cleo, since I've been doing so freaking well with my cacti and succulents, and my cabinet was looking a little bit bare, I thought I would get a couple like medium ones that can go down by the bottom of the big ones. Oh my goodness, you are so intrigued, aren't you? Hello, you wanna sniff it? No, no eating, but you can sniff it. I love you. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Can I have a gentle touch? Yes, thank you. We're teaching her how to gently touch and be affectionate, which is freaking adorable. So, yeah. I am going to be repotting these later as well. I don't know if I'll do them today or tomorrow. Depends how I'm feeling this afternoon. It has been so freaking hot in the UK, like proper heat wave. You can probably tell I'm like a little bit shiny from sweat. But depending how cool this afternoon is, if it's like too hot, I might just be like super admin-y and like edit and stuff, which I can do. So yeah, that's gonna be my project for this afternoon or tomorrow, along with repotting a couple other things. So very exciting. I'm super excited about these to go in my little cabinet. I'm gonna give them a good water now because they both look quite dry. So give them a good water so when I do decide to repot them, the soil will come off easily from their like very spindly root. So I've just noticed that my Schismatoglottis needs water freaking again. So I think I'm gonna take it out and figure out something else to go in that spot. Preferably something bushy like this one, but not as like sensitive to the sun. One that can handle a little bit more. Maybe I should also switch this soil. I'll do some research and figure out what sort of soil they'll like. And I'll switch this soil when I do my repot in like the next couple days. So I've just grabbed this, my Thematophyllum, and I think it actually might look really good here. See if it fits well in this section in this pot, because I think it'll fit well. And then it continues to add like that sort of texture that we love. Gonna take this thing out, which is what the other one was sitting on, and you can see there is a puddle of water down there. But if I put this in there, does that fit? Oh no, it's just a little bit too big, I think. Let me adjust it and see what we can do. then this can go somewhere else. Needs a good water, but it can go somewhere else. Yeah, I like that. It's a good different texture, and I know these can handle a little bit more sun. I say I know, I think. These can handle a little bit more sun. So we can get some more mature growth on there, maybe? We'll see, because it would be really cool if we can get some nice big leaves on it. These are dry now, so I am going to take them out of the shower and put them back where they live. Oh my freaking goodness. Unexpected. So this guy here that I got from the plant swap and was like, this is really cool. It's like a giant velvety leaf. And I popped it in some soil at the bottom with some like rocks at the back and like I have mostly been keeping it flat, so it's not been like sitting in water. The rocks are there to like make sure it's not sitting with this bit in water and rotting. And I've been watering it every now and then to make sure that it hopefully roots. And I've just pulled it up, like I gave it a little bit of a tug, and oh my freaking goodness, it is like so grown. It's like proper got roots in there and like new leaves. So freaking exciting. I had no idea if this one was gonna work or not. I am not the best at cacti and succulents in propagation, so I was just like totally unsure. But oh my god, it's freaking working. Look at that root on there as well. I don't know if you can see that. Massive root. Oh my goodness. This is exciting. I wonder what I should do now, because I don't want to like plant this bit underneath this soil, because it was already kind of underneath, but there was kind of like a light shining behind it from the grow light in my cabinet, from where it was sitting. Just trying to get off as much of this soil as I can. It is cacti and succulent soil, so it would be fine just staying in this, but I wouldn't know how to plant it. Would I plant it like that? Because this feels like all the roots. Maybe I should plant it like that and see. Oh my goodness, this was like so unexpected. I wasn't planning on doing this today right now. Let me go grab a pot. Oh, actually there's one right here. Got a little pot. And we're gonna fill it up most of the way with this cacti and succulent mix. Just until this one gets a little bit more established. And then I think I'm gonna put it in like that. I feel like that's really awkward. It's gonna need to like sit on something. Eventually the big leaf will probably die or like separate itself from the smaller bits, but I don't want it to be removed from it before they're like the little ones are ready, if that makes sense. This is really hard to pot. gosh, this is like impossible. I kind of put it in this situation having no idea whether or not this was even like a thing that would, like, whether or not it would work. It's kind of like very makeshift MacGyvering a sort of solution. So I'm so pleased to see that it has worked. It's phenomenal. Oh, this leaf's just come off. Oops. Oopsies. That's okay. This is like the most awkward little thing ever, but I think it'll be fine if I just keep it in this box still for a little while until these kind of right themselves a little bit, and then eventually the big leaf will come off. But I can just keep it like this for now and water into this. That is so freaking exciting. Who knew? Who freaking knew that that was gonna work? I love it. So exciting. And then I'm just gonna put it back where it was, kind of like there. And it'll get grow light from inside there, but a little bit more humidity while it's rooting and stuff, which I think would be good. I mean, I'll update you in a couple of weeks in my July updates, but for now, that is exciting. Good morning. I am actually just sitting down to film a video now. The video that needs to go up today because, well, I mean, today is Tuesday, because this whole weekly chores vlog will probably not go up until Friday. And I don't have a ton of time today to do plant chores. I need to make sure that this video goes up today, because in the afternoon Joe's actually getting his wisdom teeth out. I don't know if he wants me to share that on the internet, but I've done it now, so I'm going with him to his appointment and making sure that he gets home safe and taking care of him for a little bit, because it's like a scary process. I don't know if any of you have had your wisdom teeth out, but it is not fun. I had mine out when I was 12 because they were all impacted, and my orthodontist told me I needed more space in my mouth for my teeth to fit. So before I got braces, I got all my wisdom teeth out. Not that you needed to know that, or you might not even care, but that is more about me. So I'm not gonna have tons of time to do plenty stuff today, and I might just end up seeing you tomorrow, because I'm literally just gonna be editing today and doing like admin for the Scotland swap and stuff. So like not exciting, fun plant stuff that I would love to be doing. I just don't really have the time for today. So I'm going to film this video and then see you tomorrow, I guess. Hello friends, it is Wednesday today. Sorry, the days of the week, it happens. But I am just setting up now to repot some plants, and I was thinking that I don't actually know what type of soil would be best for a couple of these, the banana plant or the schismatoglottis, whatever it's called. Both of those, I've not repotted them before. I know the schismatoglottis, that one, has been getting like really thirsty, and I think it likes to hold a little bit more water. It kind of feels like it would want something more like Calathea maranta-y, but my like instinct with the banana plant is to go with Monstera and philodendron soil. I'm gonna see though if I'm correct. One of the like many things I love about Soil Ninja is they actually have a houseplant index, so if you're unsure about what sort of plant soil or like houseplant soil to give to your plant if you're repotting it, you can have a look on this like giant table with all these different houseplants on it and find the sort of plant that you are looking for and see what sort of soil from their sort of classic blends they suggest and whether or not you should add other components. So I'm going to look right now about the two of these. Oh my god, they've even made it better than before. You can literally search in it. This is amazing. The schismatoglottis is actually a Calathea and Maranta soil would be ideal for them because they appreciate high and consistent humidity. I've noticed that with this one. I think it was in a 2-parter spot. I moved it, and now I'll put it somewhere else with some better soil, hopefully, something that'll hold a little bit more water, retain more. And then for the banana plant, okay, also Calathea and Maranta. Interesting, but also add some bark to it. I think I have some Calathea and Maranta soil. I'll have to check. If not, I can add some like vermiculite and stuff like that to my sort of general Monstera mix, because that will have the bark in it, and then if I have vermiculite, it'll have moisture retention. I'm smart. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go pull out my soils now, and then we can get started on the repot for today. Cacti succulent. What's this? Anthurium, alocasia, Monstera and philodendron, Syngonium. Turns out I don't, so I will just use the next closest thing I have, which is alocasia or Monstera and philodendron. And I need to pull my vermiculite out of there. I think it's there. Haha. Vermiculite. That'll do. I'm also gonna need some semi-hydro, but I will come back for this in a second because this is a heavy bag. Okie doke. So, I'm feeling like repotting on the floor. I'm just like feeling like a floor person today. I guess this week even. But I've got my table, so I've got a little bit of height. I'm not bending over too much. And I'm actually really excited about this. I just got a new potting mat from my friend at Lush Plant UK. She does the trellises I have, those 3D printed trellises, the ones that we get for the swap as well. And I asked her if she could make a potting mat that was the size of my table, like the bottom of it was the size of my table, so it would fit perfectly and I wouldn't have to worry about it falling off. And she has. Look how freaking perfect that is. Because my other one, like, it's just slightly too wide, so that's good. And I think all my tools are here. Should probably grab a bucket for soil I no longer need. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I've got this, and I can put old soil in this, which I think will be a good thing. I guess I'll start with this one because it's here. The Schismatic Lotus. Oh my goodness, the roots. Look at those. Those are fantastic. Very spindly, so I kind of see why they would like something a little bit more water retaining, because they do quite look like Calathea roots. Very thin. Hopefully I'll be able to put it back into the same pot. I think I will be able to. I wouldn't want to put it in something much smaller or bigger, because like the middle doesn't have that many roots. You can see they're kind of all just around the outside. I know I'm probably going to be tearing off some roots in here. That's just kind of what has to happen. But like this sort of soil here, it just doesn't do what I want it to do for the plant. It's too, like, I'm pretty sure it's probably just peat, which, I mean, we all know why that's bad. I say we all know. You might not know. But I have a whole video on that if you are curious. I spoke with Gavin Green, a UK plant grower who grow entirely in peat-free, which is amazing. And I spoke with them about why peat is bad. There's a lot of reasons. This was like months ago now, goodness. And it's just not a sustainable resource. And I don't know, like, it does fine for plants, but it's just not the stuff that I want to be using. And I know, like, I feel conflicted because, like, part of me feels bad just, like, them throwing it away. But I find that the soil like this doesn't do my plants any favors, and you can tell that it's just not as, like, bioactive and nice as the soils from Soil Ninja, which, I mean, I am affiliated with, so I am probably a little bit biased, but I genuinely do love their stuff. I've loved their stuff since before I was affiliated with them, and it's just so good. And I learned a lot more about it when I was at Gardener's World Live. I was working with them and actually like working with the team selling their soils, which I thought was really fun. I like kind of like, I don't know, I could just like kind of info dump about plants and soil and stuff to people. It was like the right environment for that, which was quite fun. But yeah, I learned a lot more about it and how like a lot of the materials that they're using are like as sustainably sourced as possible. A lot of them are secondary or like byproducts from other industries, so it's not like first-hand stuff that they're like mining for the most part. I don't know if it's all of it, but a lot of their stuff is like offcuts or off whatever from other industries, which I think is really cool and like a great way to use waste from other industries. Like, why not? It sounds like an ad as well. It's not. I just find this sort of stuff really interesting, and I'm always trying to find ways to better myself in the like plant community and for the world. And if using something that's like bioactive and positive for the environment and like local small business as well, like that's sort of my goals in my plant journey. And I've kind of like, I haven't bought like a soil mix that's not Soil Ninja in a long time. I think probably years at this point, just because it's not I don't use anything else, and I've gotten so used to it, and I really like it, and I think my houseplants do as well. And it, like, their soils are bioactive, like I said, and so they'll have things like springtails in them and stuff like that. They haven't added them intentionally, but they don't remove any sort of good bugs, the good bugs you want to have in your soil in there. And like, oh, also at Gardener's World Live, there was a microscope where we were looking at springtails. Ian brought the microscope, and it was so much fun watching these little springtails crawl around. Yeah, it was just a really good time. I don't know if I've spoken about it much on here, if at all. My brain, I still don't quite remember what exactly I've said or done or spoken about, but I guess I'll just go on with BBC Gardener's World because it was fun. Oh my goodness, I really enjoyed doing talks as well. So I was part of the plant clinic team, or like Lisa and I were, as another plant swap, because we're kind of like part of their little like band of planty people, which is Liquid Goldleaf, the Plant Rescuer, Soil Ninja, and Harriet's Plants was there as well, selling some peat-free plants, which was cool. And that's like where I learned a lot about this stuff as well. I just love learning. It's just fun to like sort of geek out about things. But I did some talks at the Houseplant Hub, which was completely surreal, just talking about, like, not very long ones, but talking about houseplants and how we got into them and best tips and advice for like planty people or maybe newbies coming in to this hobby, and kind of just encouraging plant people to try new things and experiment and do good for their plants. But yeah, it was a really good time, and I would definitely do it again. The houseplant section again was quite small, but I do think I'm pretty sure the tickets were quite cheap. I feel like they were like 20 or so pounds each. I didn't get a ticket. I was like a exhibitor or whatever, so I can't say what the price was exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was something like 20 pounds, and I would say it was a lot more worth it for your money than Chelsea. Even though the houseplant section was quite small, there were a few different people, but it was less also, what's the word? Not exhibity, conceptual. It was a less conceptual thing. Our sort of booth was the only one that was a little bit more like that wasn't selling plants as its primary focus. Yes, we did have some plants from Harriet's Plants, like peat-free ones, but it wasn't the primary focus of our thing to sell plants. It was like to inform and to sell things like fertilizer, etc. So yeah, I think that is as much as I can get off of the root ball for now. It's not ideal, but it should be fine, and if I'm putting it in some better mix, I think it will appreciate me for it. So, since I didn't have Calathea and Maranta mix, I'm going to use Alocasia stuff, because I'm pretty sure their mixes are fairly similar. And this has cocoa coir, worm castings, vermiculite, zeolite, activated charcoal, and bark, which are things that I'm pretty sure the Calathea and Maranta has as well. And Alocasias do like to stay more moist too, so I feel like that's the right call. And it's got the vermiculite in it, which I would be adding anyways because they like to retain the water. I need to figure out where this one would be good. Maybe even in here, like more pulled back from the window. They really don't need to be right up on it. Or even in my bedroom. Like if it's right by my bed, then I'd be more likely to notice before it gets too wilty. And like, I know it's probably fine if it gets a little bit wilty, but I don't like watching it go like full wilty, like it has been. Like it was earlier in this video. Was that in this video? Oh my goodness, my head is all over the place. I can't remember what I did yesterday. Like getting back into the groove again is my current goal, because I feel like I've been thrown off my groove so much in the past couple months. And like, I don't feel like I've had a normal year. I know I've said that a lot recently, but it just hasn't been a normal year at all for me. It's been a lot of excitement and fun and positive things, new exciting things like getting engaged and traveling and stuff like that. But it has meant that I've not really been able to ooh, I just spilled soil all over myself. I've not been able to focus on good growing as much as I would have wanted to, and I feel like it's been kind of put on the back burner, which I don't like. I miss regularly making videos and feeling like my plant care is a priority and stuff, and it just has not felt like one recently. And kind of getting back onto that bus is something that I think is super important. That looks really good, and happy there. I guess let's do the banana plant. Or actually, let's do the tortum first. Oh my goodness. I think I did just water this one. But oh yeah. Again, some nice roots in there, but this soil is doing nothing for it. There is no sort of drainage in here. It is all just peat or coir or whatever it is. I think it's probably peat. Not that I can like really tell from here. I'm not like that experienced, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's the most solid of things, and it doesn't have good drainage, so I'm struggling to know when to water this one. Similarly to how my Fat Boy, I repotted that one because I feel like the soil just wasn't doing the most for it, and I am just so much more used to the Monstera and Philodendron soil from Soil Ninja that it's just the ideal to have it in that, because I'll know better when to water it and to keep it happier and healthier. This one I've also moved from its spot in the office to up where my cacti and succulents used to be, just because it would be getting a little bit more light there, and I think it'll be slightly happier there. I hope it'll be slightly happier there. Getting a bit more light from the grow lights. I have the mother grow lights on all day still in those corners because they literally do not get any light otherwise. But I mean, I don't feel bad about that because it's like days like today where it's so cloudy that even though it's, I don't know, I almost want to put the grow lights on because it feels dark in here. I don't know if it looks dark on the camera, but it feels dark in here. I was tempted to pull out my softbox to film this because it just feels so gray and like there's not enough light. It's got a pretty nice root system, this, so I am quite happy with it. I feel like this part of the video is like all over the place. I don't know if I've actually finished a thought. It doesn't feel like I have. I don't feel like I've been able to finish a thought coherently in a while, just because it's like on to the next thing and on to the next thing and on to the next thing so freaking often. I've not had a chance to breathe. So hopefully this is fine and you're enjoying just chilling out with me, doing some houseplanty chores or something. Maybe you're repotting as well. If so, what are you repotting? Let me know down below, because I really hope that people do enjoy watching these sort of videos while repotting or doing plant chores, pottering around, watering, propagating, whatever you're doing, because that's kind of what I like to do when I'm not doing plant chores on camera. I am usually doing plant chores with someone like Claire's video on, or Wild Fern, or Unplant Parenthood. Those are kind of my favorite sort of planty YouTubers out there at the minute. I know I can always count on them to have a good video for me to like pop on while I am doing some plant chores and getting stuff done. The stuff that like I don't fancy filming, which I do fancy filming most of the time because content is the way I make my money. But yeah, I think that is good. Plenty of stuff off those roots. And again, I will use the same pot. Yeah, I'll use the same pot. I don't think it needs to go bigger. And we will use Monstera and Philodendron soil. This nice, lovely, chunky mix that I much prefer. Sorry, I stopped chatting for a second. I was concentrating, making sure I got it in at the right height and that the roots were adequately covered and it's nice and stable. Oh, I just feel so much more comfortable with this soil. I just know how it works, which makes a huge difference. I feel like I wish I'd known at the beginning of my plant sort of journey how much of a difference soil makes, and having the right soil for your plant. I think it probably would have saved a whole lot of struggling for a lot of them, because I was just kind of putting most things in the same sort of like average houseplant soil mix that for a while I bought from like pre-mixed, and then I started making myself out of literally just perlite, worm castings and cocoa coir. Like, I wasn't really tailoring it to the plant, which I do think is quite important now. I find that to be like, you want to be giving your plants soil that's mimicking what they're getting from their environment, because every type of plant likes different things. So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, which a lot of soils might feel like. And like, yes, you can use a base mix if you're like really freaking good at watering and you like really know what you're doing in that department, but seeing as I'm not the perfect waterer, I don't feel like I can do that still, like what, 5.5 years on. Oh yeah, this is dry. No wonder it's suffering. But I've had this for a couple years now. I think I got it just after I moved here. So it's been nearly 2 years at this point. Crazy, I know. It's been 2 years since we bought the place. But yeah, oh my gosh, that is completely surreal. I cannot believe how long it's been. But yeah, again, this one just looks like it's dense, but it doesn't look like it's giving anything to the plant to like benefit it. And it's got a couple babies in here, which I'm kind of tempted to separate off. Give them their own homes, if I can get them out. But I am glad that I looked at the plant index for this as well, because I would never have guessed that these like a mix that's like Calathea and Marantas plus bark, like that tiny bit of aeration and drainage from bark. Like, I guess they got the thin leaves. Like, I would have suspected Monstera and Philodendron, 100%. That's probably what I would have put this in had I not looked. Because that's kind of what I use as my new general if I really don't know or can't be bothered to look, which probably isn't the best thing. But yeah, I'm surprised, because they like full sun banana plants, or musas, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm really surprised that they also like something more moisture retaining. So maybe I need to be checking on this one a bit more often regarding water, and that's why it's gone a bit funky. But I mean, I am really proud of this one. This is the one that I like chopped back to absolutely nothing. When I say chopped back, I peeled it back to a single leaf because I got impatient with it for growing leaves that weren't like coming out of their stems correctly. I don't know, it was like a complicated thing. I got impatient and didn't have any willpower to stop myself from peeling all of these leaves back ages and ages ago. I think that was over a year ago now, and I mean, it's not huge now. It has been suffering lately, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it'll love having a bit more of a juicy mix as well. That sounds weird, but a moisture retaining mix. I'm also curious if any of y'all are the sort of people that repot their plants straight away from the nursery. Like, do you immediately come home and repot your plants, or are you of the type to like let them be in the soil that they come in? Because I've heard like literally completely conflicting things where some people are like, no, you must repot them right away. And others like, no, don't repot them right away, you'll shock them. So I've always been of the mindset to just not repot them straight away because I've been scared. But like, I think it's probably fine if loads of people are doing it. Like if people are literally spouting advice about it. I mean, that being said, I shouldn't believe everything you hear on the internet, including everything I say, because sometimes I am wrong. I try not to be, and when I am wrong, I try and right it, but sometimes we all make mistakes. But yeah, I'm curious, do you repot straight after you bring a plant home, or do you leave it for a little while? Because I never was one of the ones to repot. Hence why I've got so many in other things than Soil Ninja. But I'm slowly getting through and putting them in because I haven't bought tons of plants this year. I say as I bought like 2, the other day, earlier in this video. I've not been buying lots of plants. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself for that. And I think I've been okay. I don't think I've been like doing the 1 in, 1 out, but maybe 2 in, 1 out. It depends on what you count as in. Is it me buying a plant, or is it me getting a plant for free from marketing or whatever? Or is it me swapping a plant? Does that count as in? Like, what does in count as? That is what I need to ask myself properly when I go over my goals. Maybe I should do a review, a 6-monthly review on how my goals are doing to see if I can better improve on them. Okay, I don't think I'm actually gonna separate these little guys out because I think they're actually fine in there. Oh. Huh. So there's a little bit of that like netting, the doom netting around it, which I'm not surprised, and it's like more the biodegradable kind, not the plastic stuff, because the plastic stuff is where you get into problems with the roots. This stuff is porous and looks for the most part like it has dissolved, which is good. But I still want to get out as much as possible because it doesn't need to be in there. But at the same time, I don't want to break the roots, so it's a balance. Okay, cool. That will be that. And let me mix up myself some soil. So I'm going to be using Monstera and Philodendron plus some vermiculite. I don't have tons left in here, hence why I'm using this to mix it, but plus some vermiculite for drainage. And I might actually need a little bit more, so I might just chuck a bunch of this alocasia stuff in. Like, we can't always be perfect, but it'll be getting the bark from the Monstera and Philodendron soil, plus the drainage slash moisture retainingness from the vermiculite and the alocasia stuff. Yes, I think that is the right combo. So let's get this in. I might pot it ever so slightly deeper than it was before as well. Like there. I think that would look slightly nicer. So I'm going to be putting a little bit of this monster and fill it in on top. Because the top doesn't need to be super moisture retaining. It's more down by the roots that I want them to stay a little bit more moist. So I'm just gonna have to be careful with this one and keep an eye on its watering schedule. Just monitor it for a little while. There we go. Now let me just move you in closer so you can see what I'm doing with the succulents that I have down there. Okie doke. So I've got these two, which I think I'll try and keep them in the same pots purely out of necessity because I don't know what they're called. I really would like to get better at cacti and succulent names. I'm just not very familiar with them. It's just never something that I learned, and they're just so long. Like this one, the step, anything over like 8 letters is difficult for me. I suppose once I've memorized how to say it, it should be fine, but right now, seeing as I've not memorized how to say it, I am struggling with the names, and I'm just like, these are pretty succulents, and that's about all I know. So, yeah. I'll learn in time, now that I'm getting into them more. Oh no! It dropped a leaf. That's no good. That's one of the top leaves as well. Oh, that might have fell off when I accidentally dropped it. Just before, when I was setting this video up, it fell over, unfortunately. Which was my fault, but it's okay, I suppose. I'm just removing all of the soil off of the roots of these ones. And before I put them into the semi-hydro, I will give them a bit of a rinse just to get as much off as possible. And I did water these, you saw me water them the other day, so they should be absolutely fine water-wise for a while. And I watered my other cacti and succulents fairly recently as well, so the next time I water them will probably be with those. But I need to keep an eye on them now that I have moved all of my cacti and succulents into the other cabinet, because it is it's a different environment for them, and I don't want to put them in somewhere with like so much higher light but then not give them the water they need to handle that higher light, because it would be a shame if I then just like killed all of the things that I've been doing so well with for the past 6 months. So yeah. There's this one, as much as I can taking off the roots. It'll be easier with some water, I think, so lay this one down. And then these, the little Senecio. Oh, the roots are nice. Maybe I won't keep them in the same jars because they don't match the rest of them. I'll see what I've got. But I think I would like to keep them ideally in something clear just for my peace of mind, so I can have a look at the roots and watch them a little bit. Are these tied together? So each of these little bundles is tied together, which is probably, I mean, how they were grown. But I don't like that. I don't want them tied together. That's weird. Scissors. I've been looking for these for literally ages. Joe, I found the red scissors.
Oh, where are
they? They were in my box of stuff. Sorry.
Go.
At least I found them.
Yeah.
These are such cool little things. I feel like they're just like props almost. Like they look like they've been cut and then rooted. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were just cut and rooted. But I wonder how they grow otherwise. And should I tie them together in the semi-hydro? These are the questions I will ask myself when I've put them. Oh, this one's got a little baby on it. Look at that. Freaking adorable. I guess that explains somewhat how they grow. Okay, that's the best I can do for that one. And then the last bundle. Oh, I should untie that one as well. And then, do you want to come with me to the bathroom where we can rinse these off and get them all ready for semi-hydro? That's actually kind of really concerning. See that? That's just like the stem being rotten. So I might go back and actually see if I can swap this one for a different one. Which, I mean, like, means I've got to redo the work, but that to me is not okay for a plant that I've literally just bought 2 days ago. Uh-oh, let me do the other ones then. Let's take these, ooh, missed one. Let's take these and put them in semi-hydro. Okie doke. Nice clean area. I have filled the bottom a little bit with the more coarse semi-hydro because these holes are just slightly too big to handle like this, the fine stuff. So I've just got a little layer on the bottom to prevent all of it from falling out. And I did decide to change the container. Let me see if I can move the sticker over, because that would be useful. Haha. There we go. So now I'll know what it is, which is useful. I figured it didn't need something super deep because it's not got like tons and tons of roots. Also, it's important to say, whereas I would normally, when I'm putting things into a semi-hydro, try and remove all of the soil, when I'm putting cacti and succulents in, you really don't need to do that because you're not going to be keeping them in a water reservoir. And so, like, then it's not going to stay moist, so it's not really got a chance to just like decompose super easily. So let me add another layer of semi-hydro in there, and then I can just kind of plop all of those in together. They kind of look like little asparaguses, which is cute. I mean, I see why they were tied together. It's probably easier to have them tied together, but this is fine. I just like them looking a little bit more wild. Cute. I actually really like that. I think that looks great. Now I just need to figure out what to do with the other one. Let me go grab it and we can have a closer look at it. So that sort of gaping hole is what we're dealing with, and it goes like halfway through. Like, that's definitely rotted. The roots feel fine though, so I'd be curious if I chopped it there if it would work, and then there maybe. I'm sure I could get it to reroot, but I don't really fancy that sort of struggle, especially for a new plant that I've literally just bought. So I guess I'll pot it back up into this one and bring it back to the shop. I've never actually had to return a plant before, so that's gonna be a weird new experience for me. I should probably clean up first though, so I will put these back into their homes and then we can take a trip to Nunhead Gardener again. I mean, I don't have anything against Nunhead Gardener. I don't think they knew that there was a problem with it, because like it looks fine from the outside. It's just when you like unpot it that you see there's a problem. So it'll be fine. I think we'll see what happens. I don't blame them at all for it. It could happen to literally any plant seller. So let's clean up and we can go out. Hello. I bought this here on Monday and I went to repot it today and I noticed that it's got a massive hole in it. Like a rot in the stem essentially.
Yes.
And I was wondering if I could return it, please.
It's not rotted.
Why is it all brown then? Like it doesn't look like...
It's firm. If it was
even
rotted,
inside?
it would go...
In the middle though, as well.
I mean, in the middle is... Like I'm saying, I can change it for another one. So
is it possible to return it instead?
You can return it,
Yeah.
Do you want to change it for anything else?
Nah, I'm alright, thanks. I've got too many plants anyway. Thanks. So that was unbelievably uncomfortable. I have never returned a plant in my life. I felt so weird being like, hey, can I return this? It's rotted. But she said it was fine. Like the lady behind the counter said it was absolutely fine. And I'm like, can I still return it? Because I'm not comfortable with like taking care of this plant. So I just don't know. I feel like I was in the wrong, but I'm sure I'm not. Like obviously I paid for it, and if it's not how I expect it to be, that's fine. She said it would continue living. Is that like a thing with cacti and succulents? They can just like get blemishes and be fine? Like it wasn't squishy on the inside, she said. She said it was not rotted, basically, and I'm just like, but it goes against all of my being. Am I just too much of a tropicals girly to know? Am I just not well enough? She said it would grow fine. I'm like, I still just don't want it. I feel uncomfortable, and so I did get my return. Sorry, that's a loud bird. I did get my return. She like gave it to me, which was, I mean, fair. I would hope she would, but I just felt so, it just felt strange and weird, and I didn't enjoy that. I don't like returning plants. It makes me feel weird and uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna go home now. I'm back, and I thought I would have another look at what I need to do this week. I can check some more things off of my list. I did repot some things. Those 3. Yes, tick, tick, tick. The other 2 things I have to do is spray and water my moss balls because they got dehydrated again this weekend. It's just been so freaking hot and I've not been watering them every day, even though they probably need to be watered every day. So I'm gonna do that. I cannot be bothered to bring them into the bathroom, so I'm just gonna hand spray them, and then hopefully that should be fine. It'll take a couple days, I think, and then I need to check on my imports. But I really cannot be bothered to do that right now. It just feels like a bit of a monumentous task, because like, what if something's wrong and I need to deal with it? I don't feel like I have the energy for it. It's just too grey today and it's hot. Like, I am sweating, it is humid out. So I think I just need to do I feel bad like doing admin stuff, but it's stuff that needs to be done. I need to like do my finances and edit videos and respond to emails, classic people things. So that is what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I will, however, give my moss poles a quick spraying with my what do you call it, sprayer, and we will see if we can get them slightly more hydrated so I can water them properly tomorrow. Go, that'll do until tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna see you then, because I just can't right now. I'm just far too hot. I need to like make myself an iced squash and chill out. Good morning, friends. It is Thursday today, and I've got a couple more plant things to do, like the very last of my chores for this week, and I'm going to be doing them today with you. But I woke up this morning and I just saw a very exciting thing on my Lepismium bolivianum, and I wanted to show it to you because it's super cute. I freaking love it. You know how I said it was blooming? What actually properly bloomed? Look how freaking cool that is. And it's got 2 more blooms on it as well, which is super exciting. It is, however, also like going super duper brown, which I think might be due to underwatering it, and so the roots dried out and then it got a bit overwatered, and so it's going a bit rotty. I know a lot of you said it looked normal, but I really don't think it is. Also, sorry, there's a plane. But yeah, I don't think this looks normal, so I'm kind of tempted to take like security cuttings of it. But I also feel bad. I feel like this might be a death bloom, because I did also see some thrips on it. I have squashed them all now. It was kind of like my first instinct, so I didn't pick up the camera first. I squashed them. But I found it really weird. I found thrips on the fishbone as well. So I think there must have just been thrips in my Rudsta, because my El Chaco had it and now these 2 as well. But I don't know. I didn't realize that jungle cacti would like get thrips. I thought like maybe scale or mealybugs, but I thought they'd be a bit too tough for thrips, similar to like how Hoyas are, or like tend to be too tough for thrips. So I'm really unsure, but I do think I need to do something about the lepismium, and it might just be taking a bunch of like safety cuttings and starting over, unfortunately. But I can do that. I mean, I started once, I can start over again. But my fish pond is doing super well still, even though it had a couple thrips on it. But I think it's just a bit more resilient in its root system. It's got like tons of roots in there. Like, look at those roots. So yeah, very, very okay. I just need to do something about the lepismium. But I don't think I'm going to do that in this video because I am far too lazy to do it today. But in the future, maybe when I get back from Scotland, I will do something about it. Until then, I just have a cute little flower to look at, which is exciting. I think I'm going to turn my grow lights on as well because it is freaking dark here. The camera's like not really showing how dark it is, but it is super dark. So I think it might be a grow light kind of day because it is raining outside. So I'm going to turn these on. There we go. All lit up. And now we can actually like see the things we're working on. The lighting's a bit harsh, but that's just what it's going to have to be. But I think spraying them yesterday did help a little bit to moisten it up. I might do one more round of spray and then put some water in the top and see if that works. So let's give them another spray now, and we can do the water a little bit later once it's soaked in. And then while those soak in for a little bit, I will go grab my imports that I need to work on. These ones down here that I will grab quickly. Oh no, don't fall over. Maybe not that one first. Maybe these ones first. Here they all are, and to be honest, I have been putting off looking at them for ages now, and I know that's a me problem. It's just like, I know that there's stuff that I should probably do, and that stresses me out a little bit. So I've not touched them in a minute, but for the most part, I think things are actually looking okay. I think, like, can't really see the roots in the Mudianum. I think that's what it's called. There's like one there, but otherwise you can't see much, so I'm not gonna do too much to it. Just gonna cut off that stem, this one, because we don't need that, so that should be fine. And I will be giving this one to Lisa soon because it's hers. The Holtonianum, I actually can't see many roots on here either. I know there's a couple, but not tons. So I'm gonna leave it as it is and just give it a water. I should give the Mudianum a water as well. I should also say that these used to be in a box, but I had to take them out because I needed to put some donations that I have for the plant swap, the big ones that I have in the bathroom. I have to put those into a box with water, like a huge box. So I haven't had a chance to put these back in the humidity, but they do seem like they're doing absolutely fine with it as they are. And then these two are the ones where I actually feel like I can sort them out. Let's have a look at the roots of the Alocasia, and maybe we can pot it up. Probably should put a potting mat down, but I am far too lazy. I'll just wipe up after this. So aside from this like little bit of brown here, it actually feels fairly healthy. Like all of these roots seem fine. I think what I'm gonna do is put it into one of these and put it in my pond box in some semi-hydro, because I think it will like the humidity in there and it'll give it a chance to grow for a little while. So let me grab my semi-hydro. Just a small layer on the bottom. And then I can put this in like that. And then fill in around it. I think it'll be absolutely happy in there. Completely fine. And then the Syndapsis also seems to be doing really well, but a lot of the roots are coming from these top sections. I'm really not sure what to do. I'm sure I would love something to climb, but I don't really fancy putting it on something to climb, so might just pot it up as is. I've got one of these, and I can put some Monstera and Philodendron soil in there. Like that. And so like these roots here can still get like nutrients, and then like this can just keep growing as it is. I think that should be fine. There we go. I think that will do for that one actually. And I should make sure it stays nice and moist. I'll give it a proper water when I have something to put it over. And I guess I'll put it somewhere with a nice high humidity. Just gonna put this one right there for now. Doing well. Just gave it a bit of a water. And then this one is gonna go into my pond box, which I actually haven't looked in a little while, but seems to be doing okay. Let's scoosh some stuff over so it can fit. Move this. And I think I need to put some more water in it actually, so we can do that now as well. That will go there. Just fine. Whatever that was, it's no longer. For the most part, everything else in here is actually looking really good. As per usual, I'm not surprised, but yeah, fun stuff. So I'm just gonna do that. I really need to clean this box out, but it's a project. Maybe I'll make a whole video on it, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's doing pretty well in here. I think the little scalpworm would like that. Look at the little Jacqueline. Oh my goodness, it's doing so well. So freaking exciting. Okay, cool. We'll put the lid back on and put the others back. And then just gonna put these back where they were before as well, because they'll be fine there, as is, I think. Okay, that was way easy. I don't know why I just like build stuff up in my head and like it just felt like such a monumental task, and it took me, what, all of 5 minutes? I know I do that to myself, but I don't know how to stop that from happening. It just felt like it was gonna be a lot of work, and it was actually just like not that much. Oh, I need to like stop getting in my own head about things. But yeah, that was absolutely fine. Now let's water these moss poles, and then I think that's where we're gonna be done for the day. I was expecting that to take me like hours. I guess I could just edit this video and carry on with swap planning. Exciting, but yeah. Okay, let's water these things. This is where I'm going to end this video. It feels like it's gonna be like 2 hours long or more, who knows. But I really hope that you enjoyed it, enjoyed doing plant chores with me. Hopefully you got some stuff done, or you just hung out and relaxed and stuff, because I seriously need to do that. I'm very not good at that, but I desperately need it still. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below, and leave a comment on other planty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. Anything I mentioned here and you got something to say about, say it down below in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!